Hello, guys, and welcome to IB Online. Javed Khan Afridi here, and you are watching AS Level Biology. This is the last video of this chapter, the cell cycle. And here we will discuss about the cancer. Yes, cancer is a disorder which is sometimes caused by the uncontrolled cell division process. Why we are studying cancer in this chapter? Because we are dealing with the cell division, cell cycle. And you know that cell cycle is also is taking place in a controlled way because there are so many checkpoints which we have discussed, and each checkpoint check the cell when it's proceeding from one phase to the other phase. However, sometimes something like mutation may take place, and some of the gene expression responsible to divide the cell so fast in a given unit of time. So if the process of cell division is quite fast and the cell is not normally formed, it means many of the cell will stuck together and they will form a lumps of tissue which is called a tumor. And that tumor, if sometime built up in some vital organ, like maybe in the brain, like maybe in the fallopian tube, or maybe in the sperm duct, or maybe in the trachea, maybe in the alveolus, so they can block the passage and they can develop much more abnormalities. But the most problematic situation is when this tumor, some of the cells of the tumor has break away and they move with the blood and or the lymph, and they reach to other part of the body. Here they develop to grow. This process of movement of the cells of the tumor from one region of the body to the other is called metastasis, and the cancer spread throughout the body, makes many tumors in the body, which is quite dangerous. So why mutation? Why cancer take place? What are the conditions behind this? What are the situation? It's still it's a mystery, because mutation is totally a random process. And why mutation occurs in the DNA? Let me to explain in some more detail. I told you initially that genes are responsible for a particular phenotypic expression or character. There are certain genes in our DNA. Once they express, they produce some signaling molecules, because signaling molecules are mostly protein. So when the genes produce some signaling molecule, these signaling molecule actually control the cell division. And checkpoint are also sequence of some protein molecule which control the cell division. So if there is some error take place in the gene, what kind of gene? Which produce the signaling molecule. And signaling molecule, if they provide wrong signals to the process of nuclear division or cell division, so some of the cells will be irregularly divided. They will be immature but start to division again and again. And usually in the cancer cells, the process of interphase is become too short. And interphase is one of the longest phase. If I'm giving you an example, if interphase takes 18 hours to be completed, but if it takes place 18 minutes only instead of 18 hours, so think about that. How many cells will be accumulated at the same time to make a lump of tissue, which is called tumor? And the tumor may not be like a cancer. There's something different. Tumor is something different. Cancer is something different. If the tumor spread out throughout the body, then it's malignant tumor and it is the cause of cancer. But the tumor remains at the some of the part in the body is swelling like under the skin, and it doesn't spread, it remains at the same point, then it's benign and it's not to cause cancer. So anyway, cancer is caused by the abnormal cell division, and this abnormal division is because of the wrong signaling protein molecule. And this protein is because why this is wrong, why this is different protein molecule, non-functional protein, they are because of the mutation. And there are certain things who are responsible to cause mutation. Although mutation is a random process, we don't have any particular proof and particular reason for mutation. But statistically, we can say that there are some factors which are responsible to cause mutation. And these factors like the viral infection, the radiation, ionizing radiation like X-rays and so many radiation which can break our chromosomes and can cause abnormalities. Similarly, some drugs, like you can see the tar in the tobacco and some other chemicals which are used in the sometime in the dust, like in the fertilizers, or maybe in the insecticide. They are sometimes used as a carcinogenic. So all these factors which are responsible to cause mutations are called mutagenic agents, which cause mutation. They are called mutagenic agents. And those which are responsible to cause cancer, they are called carcinogenic. So it means sometimes some of the factors are mutagenic, which also cause cancer. So some mutagenic agents are also called carcinogenic. But it's not necessary that all mutagenic should be carcinogenic. This is the some of the related things. So now let's me to explain in some more detail about the cancer and its causes. Here we go now. What about the cancers here? If you see here, it says that cancer is a disorder. Is of course it's a disorder causes as a result of uncontrolled mitosis. Uncontrolled means it's quite faster. Cancer cells divide repeatedly and form a tumor, which is an irregular mass of cells because the process is so fast. The cells usually show abnormal changes in shape. Cancers are thought to start when mutations occurs in the genes, and these genes, when mutated, they are called oncogene. Oncology, in the department where the cancer is treated in hospitals, say in oncology department. So oncogene are the genes which are mutated and which are responsible to cause cancer. The particular term for a mutated gene that causes cancer is oncogene, after Greek word onkos, meaning bulk of mass, because many cells, because the cells are immortal, they are not destroyed. In normal form, when there is an abnormal cell, usually the body immune system destroy it. But unfortunately, most of the cancer cells are immortal. They are not destroyed by the body immune system, and they are grouped together to make a bulk of a mass, a bulk of tissue. So we say that that causes in normal cases the body immune system destroy the abnormal cells. However, the cancer cells manage to escape the possible fate of apoptosis and autophagy. Both these processes are the programmed death processes usually adopted by our body system to destroy the cells, but they bypass all of these, both of these two programmed death processes, the autophagy as well and apoptosis. Right. So, however, the cancer cells manage to escape the possible fate of apoptosis as well as autophagy. The mutation is passed on to all that cell descended to form a tumor, which may at this time contain about thousands and millions of cancer cells. So, if the mutation remains continued, the descendant cells also have the mutated gene, so they are dividing repeatedly again and again and again, and so they form a group mass. So, I told you what is carcinogen. So any agent that causes cancer is called carcinogen and is described as carcinogenic. Similarly, what is mutagen? Any agent that causes a mutation, that's change in the structure of DNA, is described as mutagen. That's the most common mutagens are ionizing radiation, some drugs, as well as some viruses which are responsible to cause cancer. So there are types of tumor, I told you, benign and malignant tumor, as I told you. A tumor may be benign or malignant. A benign tumor does not spread from the site of origin and normally does not cause cancer. A malignant tumor, on the other hand, spread from the site of origin to the body to invade other tissues and destroy them to cause cancer. So that's, we say then the malignant tumor is actually one of the cause of cancer, but benign tumor is not responsible to cause cancer. So you can't say that tumor is the same thing as cancer. Tumor is something different and cancer is something different. And then metastasis, I told you. Malignant tumors interferes with the normal functioning of the area where they have started to grow. So once the tumor has been started to grow in one of the region, maybe like in the lungs or some other region, they interfere the normal function of the body. But if they spread out from that region to the other part, they will also interrupt the functions of the other organs. So once many organs have been failed to perform their function, it's called the cancer. They may block the intestine, lungs, or block vessels because there's a lumps of tissue which may block the duct of these organs. Cells break off and spread through the blood and lymphatic system to other part of the body to form secondary growth. Secondary cancer now, the other part of the body. The spread of cancer in this way is called metastasis. So metastasis is one of the mechanism through which cancer spread from one part of the body to the other part. It is the most dangerous characteristics of cancer since it can be very hard to find secondary cancer and remove them until it spread throughout the body. So then it's very difficult to treat it because the whole body cramped with the cancerous cells. They are, constantly spreading out throughout the body. This is one of the flow charts. See how the carcinogenic take place. Now you can see these are the normal cells of our body, and there are some mutagenic agent like ultraviolet radiations or tar, chemical in the tobacco, smoke, asbestos, and X-ray radiation. They may cause mutation inside the cell. So once the mutation, like here we can see that cancerous cells do not respond to signal from other cell to continue divide. This is one of the cell which has been mutated. Once it's mutated, then this cells does not respond to its neighboring cells. You know that once in the tissue there are cells which are grouped together with one another, so they have signaling with one another. So once the cancer cell has been mutated, it does not respond to the rest of the cell, so it spread its division very fast as compared to the neighboring cell. So this cell is not responding now. Cancer cell does not respond to signal from other cell to continue to divide. Now you can see these cells. What's going on? Now, in the next step, you can see that this cells now does not responding, so it divide mitotically. So many cancer cells have been developed. Absorption of they also need to absorb the nutrients and increase the number of cells to make a bulk. So cancer cells not removed by the immune system. They are mortal, so they are increasing in number, and then they are so much growing that they form a lumps of tissue. You can see a large number of cells, tremendously the high speed they are increasing. So tumor gets bigger, cells change their characteristics and look different under the microscope. They have a different structures now. And similarly, then it becomes, they're so much bigger now that even the lymphatic system and even the blood circulatory system also, they provide the tissue fluid and the lymph here to these cells. Tumors supplied with blood and lymph vessels. Tumor cells spread in blood and lymph to the other parts of the body. Now, is some of the cells screwed out from here and they just enter in the blood or in the lymph? They can reach from one part of the body to the other. Like you can see, some of the cells have been broken down and they are released in the blood, and through the blood they are transported to the other part of the body. So metastasis, tumor cells invade other tissues, secondary cancers from throughout the body. In this way, cancer spread out through the body. So we say that cancer is one of the reason of the uncontrolled cell division. Hopefully you got the idea, and then we will discuss next chapter in the next video. So stay with us. See you in the next video.